Are you committing financial illegalities? Some people make money moves that may get them into trouble without even knowing it. Hi there, Kenneth French with Vast Solutions Group, the nation's premier tax and financial engineering firm for small business owners. We've been doing this for 50 years and we've seen a lot. We've seen some people breaking the laws and not even knowing they're doing it. Here in this next few moments, you're going to learn a little bit about what some people have done, and hopefully that will disallow you from doing the same thing, even if by mistake. Americans are doing things with their money, invested assets. Most of them are doing it on the up and up. However, some exceptions to the rule. And here we're going to go over those specifics right now. Have you ever signed a check that is not your own? Have you ever wondered if a relative is no longer able to sign their checks, may you sign for them? The general answer is yes, but if you've been granted power of attorney or a POA for your relatives. A POA gives you the legal ability to handle any financial transaction on their behalf, including writing a check. However, depending on the state in which you reside, you may be permitted to sign on behalf of another as long as you follow some very specific rules. First, you need to have written permission from the person for whose behalf you wish to sign. Second, make sure to clearly write PP before the person's signature. This abbreviated form of Latin basically allows you to do so by proxy and indicates you have permission to sign on their behalf. Overestimating non-cash donations to a charity or nonprofit. Imagine this. Someone donates a van to a food bank. In the donor's mind, that van is worth the original purchase price, whenever it was done, of $6,500. Now, unfortunately, the fair market value of the van turns out to be substantially less due to something called depreciation. However, the donor reports the value to the IRS at $6,500. If the IRS disagrees, and it might weigh well in this circumstance, the donor might be in for a tax penalty. It's important to remember that this information should not be construed as tax or legal advice and may not be relied on as such. Now, forgetting to report 100% of income. Some people intentionally mistake their income to the IRS, and other people neglect to report miscellaneous forms of income such as royalty, freelance payments, etc., etc. The chances of forgetting the odd W-2 or 1099 form rises when a taxpayer moves during a year, works several jobs, etc. Now, tips must be taken into account when filing a tax return. The IRS provides a form called 4137 to help individuals determine any additional Social Security and Medicare taxes that may owe as a result of tips and wages not reported on the W-2 statement. Forgetting tax payments, now, meaning specifically estimated tax payments. If an individual in the tax return is significant enough that they can expect to pay more than $1,000 in activity from such activity, then an estimated tax payment must be made at least quarterly. Now, if you think about it, what does that mean? That means, you need to do the right thing. Well, what about deducting too much in business-linked expenses? This can also invite an IRS penalty, and business owners, executives, entrepreneurs can fall prey to this common tendency. The IRS finds that less than 7% of such deductions are intentionally overstated or made up. Ruining money. This is a little bit of a funny one. Making U.S. paper currency or hard currency unusable is a federal crime. If someone intentionally or unintentionally defaces, glues together, or mutilates bills or coins to the degree that they can no longer be used in commerce, it's a violation of federal law. Now, if you're guilty of negligence, it sure beats being guilty of fraud. The standard IRS penalty for reporting mistake on your 1040 form is 20% of the unreported amount. Contrast that with 75% of a civil penalty or a tax fraud. Of course, negligence can be viewed as fraud, and that alone should be making people think twice about inaccurately stating details on their personal finances. Well, if you need help on this topic or any other topics involved, such as retirement, tax planning, tax mitigation, maybe entrepreneurial, the new CARES Act as an example, please give us a call at 888-808-8278 or check us out on the web at www.vastsolutionsgroup.com. We're very well adept at helping business owners to, one, lower their tax liability, and two, being prepared for retirement or in retirement so they don't run out of money. Now, it is our sole focus to help individuals in fighting with the issues of the day, specifically today as it relates to the coronavirus as well. Anyway, we hope you're doing well. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this audio. It's been a pleasure.